Hi everybody, welcome back to QB's Barbecue and Bakery. I'm Joris, and today we're gonna test out for the first time on my Big Green Egg Kamado Joe Slo-Roller. So I've been cooking for over 2.5 years now on my Big Green Egg, and I know I haven't been around uploading videos as often as I would like. In fact, it's been 1.5 years since I did my last one. But in the meantime, I think I did over 150 cooks on my Big Green Egg, so I'm pretty well educated on how to use my egg. I've done loads and loads of spare ribs. But as I was looking at videos of James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, he went on and on about the Slo-Roller. He's Team Red, he is Kamado Joe when he uses the Slo-Roller. Now for Big Green Egg, we don't have the Slo-Roller, we have our trusty convector for low and slow cooks. So I wanted to know, is it worth it? Is it worth spending in the Netherlands 180 euros to get this? Does it produce a better smoke flavor in your Big Green Egg? I don't have a Kamado Joe, but I want to see, does it make a difference in my Big Green Egg? Now when you buy this, this is how you get it. It has a rack, it has a lid, the rim and the base. That's all. So that means that when you don't own a Kamado Joe, you need to make sure that you have grates. Now when you buy a Big Green Egg, you get these with them. So luckily, and these fit perfectly. They fit over the edge of the rack holder. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to smoke spare ribs. I want to see if the Slo-Roller produces better smoke ring, more pronounced smoke flavor, and I'm going to take you through the whole process. And we're going to see if this is better than my trusty convector. Okay, so first we're going to set up our egg. So as I've been taught over the years, first we place a big chunk of smoke wood in the back, maybe a little bit in the front, and then we are going to add our charcoal. Seems a bit much. Let's take a bit out. There you go. That is enough for our cook. And now we are going to light that from the front. There we go. So we're going to give that a couple of minutes to get nice and hot. And then, no, we're not going to wait. Because apparently we need to put our base in. What it actually does when you put your base in is it helps it preheat. You get proper heat sink. So let's put everything in here. Let it come up to temperature. And I'll take you fast forward a couple of minutes and we'll see how this speeds up. So when I want to figure out how much smoke flavor the Slo-Roller produces inside my Big Green Egg, I need to make sure that I get a clean flavor. So to do that, I'm going to use purely salt, pepper, garlic. It's about a 50-50 ratio. I made this myself. And I'm going to use whiskey vinegar to make it stick, but also during the cooking process, I'm going to use this to spritz and keep the ribs moist. In terms of smoke flavor today, I'm going to use these chunks of cherry wood. I like the fruitiness of it, and we'll see how that works. So first, I already trimmed the ribs. I took the membrane off at the back. You can do it with a paper towel. You see me done it a million times on any other video on YouTube. So first, let's make these a little bit moist with this whiskey vinegar. And then we are going to put this salt, pepper, garlic mixture on our ribs. There we go. We're going to let that sit out for about good 10-15 minutes. Make sure that it all gets absorbed. All right, so our grill, our BigGreenEgg, the dome feels nice and warm. You can still hold it. It says here it's about 270, which is 130 degrees. Yeah, got a nice ash bed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some extra cherry chunks on top. That's one of the benefits of having a slow roller, right? You can add this relatively easily. We're going to put our base on, but basically the lid, and then we're going to assemble the rest. Now, as you can see, there's not a lot of room for a drip tray, so I won't bother. We'll see how this goes. Now let the BigGreenEgg settle, and we're looking for about 250 degrees Fahrenheit or 110 degrees Celsius. So my barbecue has settled around the 230 mark, which is 110 degrees Celsius or 230 Fahrenheit. But when you open up the egg, there's a few things that I noticed. Now if I'll zoom in a bit here, you can see that the cooking grate is a lot higher than what we're used to in the BigGreenEgg. That's as a result of the frame sticking up higher, and that the slow roller is actually higher itself. What I'm concerned about is that it's all metal. It's cast aluminum, if I'm correct. So we really need to watch those temperatures. But we'll have to see. They say that it moves air around your barbecue about 20% or 20 times more efficient. So let's see. Let me put my rack of ribs on, and we'll see you in a couple of hours. So we've had our ribs on now for about an hour. Temperature keeps climbing, so this is something that we need to be careful about. But let's, the ribs look amazing. Let's give them a spritz. That whiskey vinegar. This helps create a bit of color. But let's make sure we keep an eye on those temperatures. I don't want to get it above 250 Fahrenheit or 120 Celsius. We'll see you in about 2 hours again. Okay, we've had our ribs on for well over 2.5 hours, and they do get a pretty dark color. So I did not put any coloring on that. This is just smoke and my whiskey vinegar. So I'm going to use a foil boat method. I'm going to put a little bit of moisture around it to help it soften. By the way, these look amazing. The color is phenomenal. I've never done a foil boat, but I've seen loads of guys do it many times. I want to protect the color and the bark, so let's give it. There we go. Hopefully that'll help soften the inside. these are gonna go back on my BigGreenEgg, and hopefully hour and a half, they're done. Well, it's been about 4 hours since we put these ribs on. Let's take a look and see what they look like. Those look amazing. Let me bring you a little bit closer with the zoom. Oh man, look at that color. Let me feel, yeah, these are so juicy and tender. Yeah, they're over 90 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna take them off and have a taste. So one of the things that I noticed is that there is a good amount of grease buildup, but it's not a lot of burned. So I guess from a temperature perspective, we went all right. So here we are, taste test time, to see what we think. Yeah. You remember my little girl, Josephine, not so little anymore. What we think of these ribs using the Slo-Roller. What do we think in terms of color?
It looks very good.
Yeah, there's a nice dark smoky color on it.
It smells delicious.
The bark, I mean. So it sounds crunchy. That's the pepper, of course, but now we gotta see if there's a pronounced smoke ring. First of all, we also see a good pull away, so bones are popping out. So let's slice and taste. Let's take it from the middle. Get it. So first, do we see a smoke ring? Yeah, we do, right here.
Yeah.
The top. So hope the camera sees it. There's a good smoke ring on top. Let's bite into it. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. This is so damn delicious.
What did you say? Oh.
Clean off the bone.
Clean off the bone. So indeed they are really good cooked, but what do you think flavor? It's good, right?
Yeah.
So, is this a favorite method now?
Yes.
We gotta experiment more.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I noticed, but what I noticed using the Slo-Roller is you need to be very careful with your temperature. So fortunately we didn't really burn the bottom, so that stayed juicy. The ribs stayed juicy. So the question is, do I think it's worth it? Do I think it's worth spending 180 euros on the Slo-Roller for your BigGreenEgg setup? I think it's a nice to have. I think it elevates your game a little bit. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Certainly fun though. But I am gonna give this another try later on, trying to figure out if I can make a double indirect setup, just like James did with Smoke and Dad, but then inside the BigGreenEgg. Yeah, so I think this was a success.
Yeah.
So, what do you always say?
Feel
Fast, learn fast.
Just keep grilling.
See you later, guys.